Hi friends, it's Becky and I want to make a necklace and earrings using the Ladies Night treasure box from Potomac Beads. I did an unboxing for this last week, I think, but I'm just getting around to making with it now. I went ahead and pulled out some of the beads. When I opened this, I wanted to use these like checked flower beads and these angel wing beads together to make some drops and have that in there. Then I also pulled out these 11mm check glass rounds that were in the box, the 4mm pearls, and these 8/0 seed beads. And so I'm going to be stringing these together using some beading wire, some 2x2 crimp tubes, and I like to use a magical crimper to crimp, but any type of crimping will work for this. I'm including from my bead stash some headpins for making some drops, and I've got some jump rings and a lobster clasp for closure. So when we get to those, we will definitely have some fun with them. Let me move this out of the way so we can start making my drops. And the drops are going to be, all of them are going to be the same. And 2 of them I'm going to set aside for earrings, and then the other 3 will be part of my necklace. So I'm going to start with my head pin, put on one of these 11/0 seed beads just to hang out at the bottom. It makes it look a little fancier. And I'm going to put on the angel wing with the curve part towards the bottom of the head pin so that the sides come up like they're leaves for the flower. When I put on this check glass flower, I'm putting it with the pointier end down and the open petal side up. And I'm going to put on another 8/0 seed bead, a pearl, and another seed bead. Like that. That's going to be my drop. I'm going to want to bend this over the top so that I can make a simple loop on the top of this. I've got it bent at about a 90-degree angle. If I hold my beads here, right here where my my fingernail hits, I've already measured that, so I know that that is about 1 centimeter or 1/4 of an inch. And so that's how much you want to measure off to leave, and then cut off. If your cutters are working, I'll cut that off there. Just gonna use some round nose pliers to roll that up. Cut that with my flush cutters. Let's see, there, it's rolled up, and now I've got myself a little loop that I can either attach to some ear wires for an earring, or it will be part of the necklace when I start stringing that together. So I'm going to put the rest of these together and I'll be right back. All right, so now that I've finished my drops, and I took 2 of those drops that I made and attached them to some ear wires. So I already have my earrings done that I can wear with this. The next part of this is going to be stringing it onto some beading wire, and I have some smaller diameter beading wire. This is the fine diameter. It is 0.014 inches. It is thinner so that I can actually fit it on these 4mm pearls because my 0.019 wire did not fit on it. So we're going to be doing this, and I'm going to be just stringing these along. I'm going to pick up 3 11/0, sorry, these are not 11/0s, these are 8/0 seed beads, and then a pearl, and then 3 11/0 seed beads, like that, and then one of these chunky 11mm, I keep saying 11/0, they're 8/0 seed beads, one of these 11mm beads. I think that's why I have that number 11 in my brain. These are 8/0 seed beads, and I'm picking those up again. So I'm just going to be repeating this with 3 8/0 seed beads, not 11/0, the 4mm pearl, and then 3 8/0 seed beads, and our chunky boys. And I'm just going to keep stringing them along like this until I have selected out 8 per side, so there will be 16 total of these going around the neck. So when I have 2 of these left, I'll join you back here and I'll show you how we're going to add our drops into the design. Sorry, I needed to clarify. These are the ones for one side. I have the beads for my other side up here. So when I have 2 left for one side, after I've strung on 6 of the chunky beads. All right, so I have 6 of my chunky boys strung. I have 2 more left for one side, and then I have 8 more of these that will go on the other side. Let's move those out of the way. And I want to kind of space my drops out a little bit, so I'm going to be placing one between this 6th one and the 7th one. I will not be placing one between the 7th and the 8th, but I will be placing another one between this 8th one and the 1st one for the other side. And I'll do the same kind of spacing along the other side as well, so it's mirrored. So what I'm going to do is pick up 3 of these 8/0 seed beads, not 11/0, Becky. And then I'm going to grab one of my drops, just string it there between the seed beads, or along the seed beads actually, because it looks like my loop is big enough that it's just going to fit along there. And then 3 more seed beads. And then I'm going to put my chunky boy on there. Like that. So it's just going to hang out there. And now the next bit is going to be the regular repeat with my 1, 2, 3 seed beads, my pearl. Come here, pearl. All the way on. There we go. And then 3 more seed beads. Like this. And then I'm going to string on this chunky boy. And this is the first half of the necklace. So this next one will be the center. So let's do 1, 2, 3. And a drop. And then another 3 seed beads. 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm realizing is that, let me take these off because I think these O beads would actually make really great little cushion beads, kind of spacery beads for the drops to hang out between these seed beads so that they don't slide around a lot, because we got these black O beads in the box, and I'm just going to grab 6 of them and just add them to my design. So, oh, not that guy. That's not one of my O beads. And these O beads, they're just little, they're disc beads. They're rondelle shape. Like that. Make really, really great spacers. So let's take these guys off. And right here where I've got the drop, I'm going to string on one of these O beads, the drop, and then an O bead, and it should help that drop kind of just stay where I want it to on the necklace and not slide around over these, because it's going to have, you know, gravity acting on it. Wait. I want an O bead on either side of the wire part of this. All right, and now 3 more of these. Yes, I like the way that looks better, and I like the way it is gonna kind of hold that where it needs to be for me. All right, that was a good idea, Becky. Good job. So I could have left it, but I really didn't want to just leave it like that. I wanted to be able to have it stay where I wanted it to stay. Because it would have, that loop was large enough that it would have slid around over the seed beads and maybe rested next to this one, but now it will stay right where I wanted it on the necklace. Okay, so here I am. I'm about to do the middle part. I just went back and corrected that bit right there. So this will be the center of the necklace. I'm going to grab my 3 8/0s. Then we're going to put on an O bead. String that guy on if we can. My dangle. And another O bead. And 3 more 8/0 seed beads. All right. And now I'm going to string on the following 8 fire polish beads, but I'm going to make sure that I mirror this side of my necklace to what I've already strung on here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Y'all don't need to watch me do that. And then when I come back, we will crimp our closures on and have ourselves a finished necklace. So I'll be right back. All right, so now I've got it all strung up, and I went ahead and mirrored it so that the placement of the other drop on the other side would follow that, and we have the same amount of beads on both sides. Now I'm going to start crimping, and let's go ahead and grab one of these guys and a couple of crimp tubes. Now these are 2x2 crimp tubes. Like I said, I like using the magical crimpers for these. When you've got a thinner wire than the 0.019, one of the best ways to still be able to do a magical crimper with that is to grab some extra wire and stick it in there with the crimp, just to give you more meat for your ravioli. So let's actually, I think I want to use a jump ring with this. So instead of looping it right onto here, I'm just going to make a loop and then use the jump ring to attach it, which means bending it back around. And I'm just going to put it through a couple of these 8/0s just for fun. I can move those up there after I make my loop. Just pulling on the, whoop, I don't want it to undo completely. Pulling on the wire so that the crimp is in a good place, and I want to loop, but not too big. Just a little loop like that. And I'm going to stuff that crimp tube with some extra wire. This is one of the reasons why sometimes it's nice to just keep a little baggie full of extra wires in there. I'll be clipping those off after I make my my crimp. So with this, you want to center your crimp tube in your magical crimpers and give it a little smush. You don't have to kill it. You're not trying to murder it when you give it a squish. And then turn it to a different angle and give it another smush, and then another angle and another smush. Just make sure it's centered each time you do it. And this way, those sharp edges that happened when you first squished it, they get smoothed out and down, and then you have yourself a nice round ball of crimp. Like I said, that extra wire can get clipped off. So you don't even see it. Excess wire too. And I'm just going to scooch this guy up here. and cut off that excess wire. There. Loop. Now I've got a loop on one end that I can attach my closure to. And I'm just going to do another loop on the other end. Since I'm just using jump rings, I can open and close them. I don't have to have them attached to something initially. But I am going to kind of curve this so that my necklace isn't too tightly strung. There we go. Put this guy back in here, because this part is when you want to tighten things up a little bit. But again, if I have it curved, then it won't tighten it too much. All right. Now my extra wire to fatten up that crimp. Could use another crimping method with other crimpers if I wanted to and I didn't want to use that wire, but I'm not going to do that because I just don't feel like it. I like using this crimping method. Again, you want to make sure it is centered as you go around and smooth that out. All right, let's get rid of our excess wire here and our excess wire here. I don't know why it goes through like that. That's okay. There we go. Loop, loop. I got my 2 loops. I'm going to open and close our jump rings. To open up a jump ring, you want to hold one side steady and then just twist with your pliers to the side. Then you can loop it through what you're attaching it to, and then add whatever you are using the jump ring to attach together. And then hold that side steady while you swing the other end back towards the first so that the ends meet together like that. I'm just going to do another jump ring on this end, and then I will have a completed necklace with some earrings. This was a quick and easy project. Pretty simple. And I really like this. It's like a night garden right there. All right, all done. And I will put a link to the Potomac Beads site if you want to subscribe to the monthly bead box. The bead subscription for this is the Treasure Edition. They also have a kit edition where you get a bead kit that includes the beads, the materials, and a pattern to follow if you don't want to have to use your own imagination to come up with things. It can actually, I really enjoy doing kits personally, especially when I'm like, you know what, I've been doing creative things a lot and I just want to make something without having to come up with this design, so following those kits is a lot of fun. But I also really enjoy exercising my creativity, so I enjoy the treasure box too. Anyway, I will put those links in the description, and I'll also do a link to my unboxing if you want to see some of the other things that are in this box. And I hope you're having a fantastic week. Happy beading! Bye!